Well, welcome back to Destry Wade, the homeless surfer. Been a very challenging week thus far. I look forward to getting into that. But anytime you do anything, it's going to be challenging. Specifically, start a business and then deal with the hurdles that are placed in front of myself by myself. But anyway, a couple things that we're really excited about though, and the first thing I need to kind of go over, let's start there and where the hurdles were. Because we talked about them a little bit last time. Um, ChatGPT has a free version. So that's your kind of your initiation into the world of AI. You can get in there and kind of start messing around, feeling more comfortable, testing stuff. And it's good for that. But the problem being is once you start producing things, creating using AI, it's not near enough. So I found real quick on Monday, which was a holiday, unfortunately, that I'm burning up my free chat GBT in about an hour a day. So it's not giving me enough images, um, nor enough research to be able to run this as a full-time business. So level two, chat GBT is what they call the premier version or the upgrade. That runs you 20 bucks a month. Now, from what I'm reading right now, and again, I'm learning, so I'm not a computer guy, but what I am learning is for 20 bucks a month, I should be able to make the books that we want to make. I want to create 2 books a day, and we want to keep doing those till they get online and start really pushing themselves, and they will. Um, so I need to get that. Big problem. Like I said, I get a check once a month, and it ain't that time of the month yet. As we film this, it's the 21st. I'm looking to the 2nd. So I did not want to sit still for the next 10 days, wasting time. That when you're in a startup mode, you really got to keep that momentum rolling, man. Don't let shit get in your way. Stop letting stuff get in your way because that's what we've been doing. And the reason that we're not going to let stuff get in our way anymore, specifically and most importantly, ourselves. We get in our way, we trip ourselves. We are our own worst enemy almost 100% of the time because we let people, and we blame the people that tell us we're going to fail. But the reason we blame them is we don't want to accept the fact that we accepted their judgment of we're going to fail. So, anyway, I'm not accepting that. And I'm not going to wait 10 days. So, I went out this morning and I did some panhandling. We're homeless anyway, right? So, it's not hard. Just ask people for help. And it's not a hustle. It's just letting them know where I'm at. And I did. And they responded well. So I was able to go put the money in the bank account, which was a whole other earth because I panhandled just enough to get what we needed, the $20 to get into the bank, to be able to go back online, put my credit card in there again, and upgrade my package so I can keep working. Done. But I had to take from here a trolley. I almost got busted on the trolley because I don't have a trolley fare. It's an extra $2.50. And if I don't have to panhandle it, there's no reason. Don't take more or don't ask for more than you need. Because when you do, you're taking from somebody else that also has need. So my philosophy is always ask for what you need, no more. And don't ask for what you want. Ask for the things that you need. Rule number one. No, that's rule number two. I think we did rule number one already. But anyway, so that was awesome. Successfully had a problem, looked at what the solutions were, and solved it. And take the action to go solve it. Because trust me, walking out of here, I wasn't real stoked about talking to strangers about, can I have some money, please? Because I know I don't like that because I worked hard for my money in my life. And giving it away isn't my favorite thing to do or something that I want to ask others to do. But like I said from the gate, when you're doing the right thing seems to come along and help you out. So I feel great about that. Definitely 100% better than I did this morning, getting up and contemplating what the answers were. So that's handled. So we're going back to creating. Like I said, I've got 30 already made. I've got the software now to turn out the ebooks. So now we're going to take the ebooks. I'm going to load them all in, And I'm going to put a link on this thing coming up so you guys can find them. I'm going to start advertising them on here too. I'm going to be the sponsor of my own books, which hopefully, because based on everything I'm researching, the best way to actually earn income by using YouTube is to product affiliate and associate. Far better than becoming a, what do they call it, a partner program, which is great when you get there, but it's a ways up there. I mean, you've got to do 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers or something like that. Ugh, I think I'm at like 2 hours and like 12 or 14 subscribers. Got a way to go. And I don't really have that much time to wait. The benefit I have going for me is because my entire life as a working father, working stiff, I was in marketing and advertising. My job was to promote and market and advertise small businesses. So my company did. Through doing that all my life, I also ran into the marketing of attorneys. The reason I kind of went that direction was because an attorney, a referral to an attorney, to like a personal injury attorney, is $500. The attorney pays for that. Flip, get a guy that's doing a tune-up for you, get him a lead, he'll give you a couple bucks. So, for time and effort involved, the attorneys were way better. On this thing, actually, from what my research shows, legal investments and software are the three biggest things that get you the greatest return for your effort when it gets into the partnership program, which is again, that's when you're getting paid by YouTube directly for your ability to draw people into your channel and therefore market other products that you really aren't related to in any way. So the affiliate marketing for me is going to be the primary focus. Again, focus of this whole YouTube thing was to kind of take you along a journey of starting a business, but the business again being publishing, not YouTube. But this thing's growing, and I'm really stoked about what we're doing here on the YouTube thing. Like we talked about last week, I really believe there's a lot more here than I initially thought. Again, I'm going to focus on the books. That's going to be the revenue stream, and that's where my mindset goes for the revenue. But for the overall enjoyment of doing it, enjoyment of working it, this YouTube is something that I really find fascinating. And I think once we get into the right audiences and get the right formats and I get the right equipment, we can really make something happen out of this. And I'm hoping you guys will like, subscribe, and comment because it's huge for me. I need to know what you want. I want to give you what you want. I mean, how many times you turn on a show and they say, "What do you guys want to see?" Let's make something that everybody wants to see, that will enjoy it. And we talked a little bit last time that we met together a couple days ago about structuring this a little bit different. I like what we're doing, but I think a couple things. Number one, we intended, and we always have, and we always will intend to get this out of this situation here because this is coming to an end and back outside so that hey, anybody that's homeless and wants to film their YouTube channel outside, that's kind of where we're leaning to show you how to do. You can always get an apartment, a hotel, anything you want to film from and film. But if you have no other choices, we're going to show you how to utilize other ideas to create yourself opportunities to have a place to charge and film and really tie yourself to. And it goes back to the affiliate program. So here's my concept. I like doing this, but what I want to do is do about a 3 or 4 day a week against, just like we're doing. But instead of doing it here, we're going to do it live at Konos and call it Coffee at Konos. Do it about 4 days a week, maybe an hour or two. I'd prefer we start doing it on a live feed, so let's see how that works out. We'll also have the video backups for people that just aren't available in the morning on a live feed. But I think that'll be our best time. We get some good conversations. Start taking the roll call so you can see kind of, like I said before, roll call is a group of people that you see on the street, a homeless people. Wonder why homeless people flock up. They flock up because those are the protectionary methods that we use to take care of ourselves and each other. So most crews, most groups that you see out there have a location where they meet and check on each other. For us, we do it because I work mostly everybody that I am in the streets with comes from military history. So they're used to mustering. So it's not a stretch to ask everybody to, hey, check in. Now we used to do it at Starbucks right there on Mission Boulevard and Garnett or Grand. I'm sorry, Grand. But they closed it down. Some tea shop in there that totally failed. We missed Starbucks. God, they were great. We checked in there every morning. That was back when there was like 25 of us in this overall group. We didn't all hang out tight together, but in the overall group of people who were wandering Pacific Beach, Mission Beach, there was about 25 people we were cool with that we did want to check in every morning. And thank God, because a couple of times we found like a friend of ours didn't come to check in. His road dog showed up. He goes, I don't know. I left him at the spot. I go, because what we don't do is we don't tell each other spots. You don't want no one to know where you sleep, other than one person, which is your road dog. And the reason that one person knows is, for instance, if you don't come to roll call, the road dog's sent out to look for you and find and sniff you out, find out where you went, because you do keep in contact with your road dog all the time. Because usually you have the same issues. You buy both drinks, so one of you excuse me, you might separate temporarily while one of you goes hustles out to get the drink while the other guy holds down the fort, whatever, stuff like that. That's how you end up with your road dog. But so that's how you end up with your road dog. Speaking of dogs, my dog wants to bark at something at the door. He sees ghosts. Anyway, so so we have a check-in. So I want to bring you guys into those check-ins because they're great, and you're going to have a chance to meet the characters that make up the Pacific Beach, Mission Beach stable of homelessness, the people that never leave. And there's some great ones, man. There's guys out there that would give their back for you. And they watch out for you guys, especially those residents that I love at Pacific Beach, Mission Beach. We watch out for you guys. You don't even know the crap that we keep off of those streets. Because one thing I will say, we don't get involved in each other's business, but don't bring your shit to my house because you're not going to blow up my spot and you're not going to blow up my neighborhood. And now that I'm in the homeless, it's a whole different world than when I used to come from my own neighborhood up on Boss Street down to the beach and look at homeless people. And I didn't dig them. The only reason I knew who they were is because I bought weed from them, probably. But yeah, never been a big guy on everybody's welcome kind of thing. There's a certain pride in the whole locals only type of thing. So anyway, um, so yeah, so part of the show is going to be I want to do in the mornings. It's going to be coffee at Kono's. It's still going to be the homeless surfer, still at Destry Wade. We're not changing any of that. We're not going to change the formatting of this or any other way. Our subject matter, our audience reach, we want to be the same. If you ask me, hey, Destry, what would you want your audience to be? I would say I want my audience to be everybody. Anybody that's down on their luck that's 18 that just needs a little encouragement to get the hell up off your ass and get moving, son. You need a dad figure. You need a grandpa figure. I'm here for that. You need a peer group. I'm here for that. I've been a drunk. I've been a drug addict. I know the struggle you guys are going through, man. And I don't envy you. I got friends out on that street right now. Walk by this place. They got all strung out on that freaking fentanyl shit. You get into those certain things, man, it's just going to destroy you. All that crap just destroys you. Trust me, everybody down here dabbled once in a while. Or their body just quit on them so badly they had no family, no one to help them, or they were fleeing a bad situation somewhere else. Again, California is great at drawing homeless because of the weather. The other reason is they kick people out of jail. And when they kick you out of jail or prison here in California, they don't give you anything. Unless you have someone waiting to take you in, you are on the street. And you can legally be released from your prison on parole with no and be a claim homeless. Which trust me, most of us do anyway. That way they don't know where you're at. You're just homeless, you make your call and they leave you to be. And that's how it works. So you come out of jail with nothing, prison. You've been in there 8 years. All your contacts are dead or gone, or in prison too, somewhere else. So it's not great out here because of that reason. They actually create us, generate us, and make us, and then tell us we're illegal for being out here. Oh, now you're illegal. Well, they used to write us tickets. What do they call that crap? Infractions. Really? You in fractions. So you owe us money. Oh, great. When I get a little money and get some food in my belly, I'll talk to you about whatever else you might need. Other than that, it's just a joke. It's ridiculousness that's created by a system that wants to create an illusion that they're doing something. And none of them are. I don't care who you are as far as political party. Don't believe this shit. It's all wrong. They're and I'm because I live in it. You know, you want to look at fraud in California? Talk to me, man. I can show you 9 frauds walking out the front door of this place right now. It's ridiculous amount of money that's stolen. It's supposed to go to solve and help this problem, which it actually, I guarantee you, simple math, simple math. $26 billion got spent on homeless people in the last 4 years in California. This ironically missing. Don't know where that went, but I can tell you this. If they would have just used simple arithmetic from elementary school, you take that $24 billion, you take a division signal, you divide that number by, let's say on a busy day, we got 200,000 homeless. They estimate more like 139 to 159, depending on who you listen to. So let's go crazy and say we get an influx of something happens in Florida and a bunch of people have to come back to California because Florida flooded. Let's say that happened. So we'll go with 200,000. $26 billion. That's 26,000 millions. Add up, divided into the 200,000, the high number. Each person's walking away. I did it. It's roughly about $167,000 a person. So if you would have wrote me a check 4 years ago for $167,000, I wouldn't be homeless. Neither would most people out here because that would be more than adequate to get us off our feet. And if it isn't, hey, 4 or 5 years down the road, when you rejuice, you're rejuicing, but I guarantee you there'll be less because you're going to start shutting the rolls down. Some people will pass away. Some people will use that as a springboard. I've got friends that during COVID actually took some of that money that was supposed to be, it was kind of a hustle deal, but they took it anyway and they started lives with it. They now have jobs, cars. They're back on their feet. I mean, like I said, 50% of the people that are homeless are working homeless. They're not, they're not idiot loser junkies, any of that. They're not mentally ill. They're not psychologically lacking in any way. They're working hard people that just don't have they don't have the training to go out and get a $90,000, $100,000 a year job. They've got to work now it's $20 an hour, but at $20 an hour, that's still only 160 a day, five, what, somewhere around 700, 800. No, that's not even close, man. You can't even get a studio apartment for that. Keep in mind, the worst thing about homelessness too, they want to fix it. It's not about the units. That's a that's a freaking lie. It's not about the number of places they have. It's about how much they expect for them, and that's not even the problem. I could work 2 jobs if I wasn't disabled and pay rent here, but you know what? Even the $2,500 they actually want for this place, I live here free. They want 2,500 on the market for this. That's crazy, crazy. But like I said, that's not even the hard part. The hard part is I got to go show them they're qualified, and this is in the state of California and probably likely other places as well. When I walk in and tell the manager, and this is new to me, as an old man, this is all new. In the old days, we just walked in and said, "I want to rent the place." Okay, you need first month's down and a month deposit. Okay, where do you work? I work here. Okay, good. You got a job. I'm going to verify your income. Okay, here's a check stub. Okay, you're good. Sign a lease here. Move in on the first. Make sure you have your deposit, your full first month's rent. Thank you. And it worked out good. Good part about those days is for the landlords, and I understand that part well, that you could kick someone out in 30 days and have your place back. So that deposit was able to cover the loss that the landlord had when he was having to evict you. Then they got tricky. All the poor people, we poverty stricken people get tricky. We don't want to lose this. We sue, and landlords end up having people there for 6 months with no rent, and it just got crazy. So the landlords, to protect themselves, now require proof of income 3 times higher than the monthly rent. So your income has to be, or your rent alone has to be cannot exceed 33% of your income. Bull crap. Most of us are paying 50, 60% of our income and not even thinking about their house more. That's why a lot of us give up the house. I'll sleep in the car and work, and I'll go out to dinner and to a movie. You know, that'll be my life. It's easier than working my ass off to come home and not even have a beer, not be able to go on a date, not be able to buy a new pair of underwear because I just don't got the money. So, but I got insurance in a house. Yes, that's not the way we want to live. So anyway, um, yeah, so you end up being house poor. So it's not a case that there's not people out there that can work. So if you have to earn 3 times more than your rent, that's number one, hard if you're lower skilled labor. Number two, they do a criminal background check. Why do you need to know what I did yesterday? As long as I pay rent. Now I can't understand that there's an eviction on my credit, but you shouldn't be pulling my credit. That shouldn't even be allowed. You make a logical decision, and I'll tell you where a lot of this other crap comes from. And the reason the rents are like this is because of damn property managers. Back in my day, my grandfather was a landlord. He owned multiple places, but he ran them. He fixed them up on his weekends. That's what he did. That was his side hustle, if you will. He owned 3 houses. One of them was my mom's, one was my aunt, one was his, and he had one across the street too. And he rented all those out. And he kept them up. He maintained them. And when it came time to sell them, he made his money on the equity. The great thing about renting them is he always taught me this is old school thinking. Somebody else is paying my mortgage and property tax for me and a little bit extra enough you, and I'm still pulling a little teeny bit off each house. Just cash on top of my earnings that I still earn. He didn't stop work because he owned 3 houses. Nowadays, these guys own 3 houses. They turn around and hire a management company that throws a 15% management fee on it. Well, you think the manager's got enough money in his, or the owner in his situation to pay that? No. So guess who's paying it? Me. So my $20 an ass is now worth 18 because I got to pay the other guy's fees. This is how this works. And that's why the homeless, and that's why it's not an inventory problem. There's plenty of empty apartments. Trust me, I can walk around downtown and show you 1,000 within 2 blocks a year. So don't let them go over that, say that crap to you because that's not real. It's just not real. They make it hard because A, the management companies, and B, because investors are so heavily invested in this, they're hedging their bets. So they're making sure they don't have some dude in there living for 6 months, with no rent accounted for. They're going to cover their bets. If we're going to fix this homeless thing, what you got to do is you got to work with the managers. The managers got to work with the landlords got to work with the tenants, and the tenants got to work with the landlords. And we got to go back to a system where, hey, you pay a month in advance, you pay your first month's rent, you pay an extra month on that. If you don't pay on the first or next month, you're kicked out in 30 days. Period. There's no exceptions. There's no, well, maybe no, we'll do a court filing because I guarantee this. There's some of the hustles in the hustle. I can stay in an apartment for 6 to 9 months free of charge. All I got to do is get that first month deposit in there and I'm done. You can't touch me. So, because that knowledge is out there, it makes it unreasonable for a landlord who's mitigating his risks as well. And that's the problem. I'm an educated homeless guy. I get both sides of this. Uh, if I own the home, I got to mitigate my risks, and I'm not going to give it to somebody that just got it, based on the California laws of eviction. There is no way I'm going to take a chance of losing half a year or more of income because that's going to come directly out of me. Because I guarantee, even though the rents are high, so are the property taxes, so are the insurances, so are the property maintenance fees, so are repair costs. That's all through the roof. So yeah, I feel for the landlords too, but we got to work together somehow. Old surfer, back to my surfing roots. Dr. Paskowitz was a surfer who took his family of, I can't remember, man, 4, 5, 6 kids, stuck them in a VW van and drove up and down the California coast, living a life of surf and spiritual appreciation for the ocean. Beautiful man, beautiful family. Um, and he was a doctor. So his side hustle was he'd go into the small towns in California and be a doctor for a few days, and collect enough money to go feed his family and go back to surfing up and down the coast. awesome. And those dudes, I mean, hey, you want to talk about claim to fame? I'm from Law Street. They know Law Street. I used to watch them. They'd come down to San Diego to Law Street down there in PB, and they'd run their surf school right there at ah, that's not Tourmaline. Yeah, that's Law Street. That is Law Street. Yeah, they run right there at the end of Law Street, at the end of the trail. So Kelly Slater actually was one of their workers one year when he was first starting out. When he left Florida, he came up and worked for the Pasquets. They're the ones that taught him that compression that made him a freaking superstar. Wasn't for those guys, Kelly Slater wouldn't even exist properly in his realm. So thank God for the Pasquets, real surf family, man. And one thing that Dr. Paskowitz lived and preached was that for every human being, there's more than enough. But any human being that takes more than enough is taking from someone else. You're taking his enough or her enough to make you to have more than enough. You don't need more than enough. Remember one thing huge. The only thing you're going to leave this earth with is the spirit and your soul. The body stays. The clothes stay. All the crap here stays. So no matter what I have, I'm Elon Musk with $1 trillion net worth, or I'm Destry Whitney with a zero net worth, and right now -20 because I had to bum money to keep my business going. We're both going to be leaving here with the exact same thing. So I'm not a socialist, but you got to slow down. We got to slow down on taking too much. That's the homeless surfer. That's the surfer part of me and the homeless part of me, which is typically strange because to me those are yin and yang. The homeless dude, he's weak, makes bad decisions, doesn't flow with the ocean or the motion of any way, shape, or form. He fights that shit with everything in his power. He fights it and fights it and fights it. I will not relent to you or your bullshit. I'm gonna do me. Hey, monk. The surfer is just the opposite of that. He's the yang to the yin, the yin to the yang. Yeah, because bottom line is the surfer flows with his energy. He accepts that he has no control and gives it to the wave. Knock my dog. Don't. I'm kidding. Oh, I don't like barking though. Don't bark. This is Monkey. Sorry. Yes, interrupt. I love you. I love you. he jumped. He's got a hurt hand. Anyway. All right. So, anyway, back to it. We can't, we got to flow with the energy. So I've always looked at homeless surfer as kind of a dichotomy, a yin and yang moment, because I do realize there's opposition in all things, no matter what you do. So um, that was the week. That was kind of there's our spiritual mode. Just kind of to end a couple things before we call it good. Um, we're going to start calling this the Homeless Surfer Show. It's still going to be on the Destry Wade channel. It's the Homeless Surfer Show is what we're going to add to. You're going to see that on the thumbnails and stuff. I want to structure it a little bit. We're kind of getting there. We're figuring it out as we go, but I can tend to ramble. And I think if I could get more of a focus, then I wouldn't need to ramble about things. And I think I'd be able to avoid having blank moments. So we're gonna have it kind of segmentized, and let me know in the comments what you guys think. What the best segments would be. I think part of it is the struggles of the street, like we talked about. Helping you understand what's the realities going on out there, because those of you that are politically connected, politically involved, activists in any way, really need to get in here and start demanding that they fix this instead of just talk about fixing it. You can't keep moving people around. That's all they do right now. They tell you they're fixing it. They clear one street, take some video of it, show you it's all fixed. Those people, meanwhile, are 2 streets over. And then they go over there and they see them and they move them again. They come back to the same place they just left. So it's not logical. So I think by doing that, is having a segment here um, after check-in, of course. I think the first thing we'll do is do our morning check-in so you can see and catch up with all the dudes and what they're doing. And hopefully you'll learn to have some of them as cheer for some of them. We're going to set it up so if you want to help some of them, you can. Because we can keep giving money to the government and hoping they do the right thing. You can you can help people directly through situations like this, and that's what we're going to create, and that's what we're going to work on together. So, anyway, the other is kind of solving the problems of business ownership, starting from zero ownership, self esteem issues that you're going to run into. Man, it's so easy to quit. It's so easy to tell yourself you can't do this, you can't succeed, and and fail because you made yourself fail. You told yourself to fail. It doesn't have to happen. Tony Robbins has made a fortune in my lifetime just telling people to quit, quit being your own worst enemy. Be your best friend. If you are your best, you will give your best to everything you do. But first, you got to find you. Who are you? What is your role? What is going to make you happy in life? Because once you find your role in life, who you are, what you're supposed to be, what you were born and developed and bred to be or created to be, that's a better thing. Created to be, you're going to find a happier you and allow others to be them because everybody's got a little bit different thing going on. We all have some of us have some very familiar experiences with each other. That's what we call our friends, our social groups, because of those experiences. But the bottom line is, um, you know, you got to find you, and you as an individual. Once you can be alone and be okay with just you, and then go out into the world, and because you're okay with you, it doesn't matter what these people think. Randomly, without knowing you. People judge each other without knowing them. So you got to know each other first. Once you know somebody's heart, you have the right to make judgment, I guess. And you really never have the right to make judgment, but at least you've given them a chance. You didn't visually judge. That's the most ridiculous thing you could possibly and I've ever heard of people doing. So anyway, those are kind of the things we're going to do. I want to do one other segment when we're there, which is going to be Kai's book review. Kai is one of the 30-year homeless guys in Pacific Beach. Been there since before my daughter was born. He was there when my son was born. He used to surf with us. He's a heavy alcoholic, but he's a good guy and he's sober in the daytime and he reads. He reads and reads and reads. He likes to read books because he's got nothing else to do. Um, so anyway, we're gonna have a Kai book review. So he can review books that he's reading with us every couple days, and let's see what maybe he'll catch up with fried green or fried tomatoes, whatever that one is. Yeah, we're gonna take their business too. Take more than you need. You're taking from someone else. Well, we need this business because our business is going to do something. Always had an idea to make a nonprofit and turn that nonprofit into a profitable business and then use the profits that would typically go to shareholders and things of that nature, go to a cause that supports and creates the business for that cause. We tried it once before with recycling. The state didn't like it. They put a stop to us because we outthought them. We took money from a recycling program, put it over here to the schools like we were supposed to, but instead of teaching, and I taught recycling. But I also took the money and donated it to the schools, which allowed them to open libraries and pay the librarian. The state didn't like that. They don't like being tricked. So anyway, that's how that worked. So we're going to work on that stuff and keep going. Now, on the next time we get together, I'm going to have the split screen down so I can show you the work I've put into the main program, which is the storybooks. I think you'll like what you see. And then I'll start directing on how to help me with that stuff so that hopefully we can start moving some books. I want to be bestsellers. And like I said, this project, if we can make this thing big, is going to go to helping take people away from the streets and do it without getting the government involved. We'll just do it ourselves. We don't need their help. We can bring them right here, talk to them, figure out what they need, and as a group, give them what they need directly and monitor and maintain and help them. They got to be helped. They need a hand up, but they don't need a handout. Guys, I love you. Again, like, subscribe. I'm gonna try to have a cup of coffee thing set up so that you guys can throw me a couple bucks here and there so we can keep. So hopefully I won't have to go out and panhandle. I don't want people paying a lot. I'll let you know what we need and I'll keep a counter so you know that that's what we need and why, and that's what we're using things for. No BS, no way, not gonna happen. One thing, you can call me anything you want, but one thing you're gonna have to call me in the long run is an honest motherfucker. Love you guys. Peace out. See you soon.